in that situation? What's going through your head at that point?
I was trying to get a pitch up in the zone and driving through the gaps. Fastball.
Did you know it right off the bat?
Yeah, but I wasn't really sure because it was kind of high up in the air, so I was not sure if it was going to go, but I did hit it solid.
How do you describe the emotion of going from that high and having anything later to walking off the field with a loss?
I think we had a great game. It was a heck of a game. Both teams battled, and I'm excited to get back to Citi Field.
Mark, is that the takeaway from this weekend? I mean, despite losing tonight in a hard-fought game, you guys come out here with one win and played good baseball both days.
Great baseball all around. Both teams are fighting, and this is playoff baseball. This is exciting. But like I said, I'm excited to get back to Citi.
How would you describe what allowed you to be so locked in at the plate in this really frenzied, hectic environment?
Like you said, frenzied, hectic environment. I mean, I'm focused on getting a job done and whatever I could do for the team.
Mark Taylor said that the last 2 weeks, you guys have been punched back, come back. Did you see some of that tonight on the other side from Philly? They've been here before, and a handful of times you got them down. Did you see a little bit of that in them as well this afternoon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to come out of their hometown with 2 losses. They were trying to fight just like we are, and they played a great game.
With all the comeback type of games you've had, close games, kind of roller coaster to get to this point, does that maybe kind of give you an advantage with all that you guys have dealt with so far this season? You're kind of able to handle anything?
Yeah, I think we're ready to handle anything. I mean, I keep saying this, I'm excited to get back because it's been like 2 weeks we've been on the road, and now we're going to get our home crowd advantage, so I'm excited for that.
That's, some of that is the nature of fighting for the playoffs in October, the way the schedule plays out, but how difficult is that to play some of these high-intensity games on the road like that, being away from home? What kind of a toll does that take?
I don't know. I don't think it takes that huge of a toll, but it's just been, like I said, we've been on the road for 2 weeks, so it's like, man, I can't wait to get back, right? But, no, I mean, I'm excited.
How would you just describe your mindset in these tight games?
I'm trying to stay present in the present moment. When I'm playing defense, I'm focused on the batter. When I'm hitting, I'm focused on the pitcher, and when I'm base running, I'm focused on the pitcher. I'm just focused on what I'm doing in that present moment.
Common question every night, but you guys keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing game, right? Just, again, another instant classic. Phillies kept coming back, putting together unbelievable at-bats, and so did we. And, I mean, enough can't be said about Vientos. I mean, he is really blossoming into a heck of a player, and is a force with his power, and someone that you always have to worry about. So just so proud of him. I thought that was a huge moment. Both of those home runs. I mean, they were spectacular. But I mean, this is what everybody wants, out of October baseball. I think we put on quite a show for everybody in attendance and everybody watching on TV, and it's really fun to play baseball like this, and that was again just an instant classic game.
Brandon, you talk about Mark, and I know that you've said 2022 was a bit of a learning experience for guys that were going through it for the first time.
Yeah.
What have you seen out of him that has allowed him to hit the ground running this way in his first postseason?
I think he's not afraid of the situation. He understands that failure is a part of this game, but he doesn't let that dictate, how he's going to plan for the game and how he's going to attack it. He goes and he gives it his best shot every single time. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but you're really seeing him play without any fear, and it's just really refreshing to see at such a young age. I think Alvy plays that way as well. Usually it takes some experience to be able to get that way, but these guys are showing it right away. And, you're seeing it all throughout the game. We have a lot of, amazing young players throughout the game that are coming through in big situations and playing in big baseball games and really doing it up here. And so very very proud of the direction baseball is going. I think the young kids are coming up more and more ready, and it's really cool to see.
What happened on that collision with you in left field?
I got the air knocked out of me. I was playing all the way on the fence for no doubles, and had to come all the way in. And I wasn't quite sure that Mark was all the way underneath it, so I came up to try and catch it if it happened to go by his glove. You can't really hear each other, at that point. So you're just doing the best you can, and he ended up catching it. And I don't really know what I hit, or if like an elbow kind of got underneath my ribs or something. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen, but just felt like in football back in the day when you used to get a football underneath the pads, and I haven't had that in a long time. So I just need a second to get the air back in my lungs.
Brandon, after the past 2 weeks that you guys have had and the baseball that you guys played this weekend, do you leave this weekend as a win?
Yeah.
Getting a game down here?
I mean, I think so. We would have loved to win this game too and be in a great position to win one game and move on. But also, I mean, they played really well, and they came up with some really big hits. I mean, Stotts, Castellanos, Harper's home run. They did an amazing job. And sometimes you're not going to win, but we threw some punches and we did a really good job, and I'm very, very proud of these guys. So I do look at it as a win. And coming out of Philadelphia, 1-1, if you would have asked before those games if you would have taken that, you probably would have. And so I definitely think so. There's lessons to be learned, but again, just what an amazing game, and you're not going to win them all.
Finally going home after a long time. What's that going to feel like for a final?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to go back, and it's probably going to feel like a vacation home. It's been a while, and we're excited to get back to the Mets fans. But I'm just most excited to see what Citi Field's like on Tuesday.
What did Real Muto say to you?
Oh, nothing. It had nothing to do with the home run, or it was literally. I have the utmost respect for Real Muto. He's one of the most stand-up guys. It literally had nothing to do with the home run. That was totally misconstrued. It had nothing to do with it. It wasn't ill will. There was nothing. But no, it was no. I have, like I said, I have the utmost respect for Real Muto and the guys on that team. It literally had nothing to do with the home run.
You call this an instant classic. You talk about how fun these games are. When you're going through it, when you're in the moment, is it fun or is it incredibly stressful?
Well, I'm absolutely drained right now. You go through, an emotional roller coaster, and just mentally and emotionally being into every pitch and every pitch mattering so much. It does mentally drain you, but you're so into it that you don't really realize it until you come down. And I mean, it's definitely different. It mentally drains you, but come the next game, you're ready to go, and you give it your best effort and everything that you got. But it definitely is different in being able to ride this roller coaster and try and keep it as even keel as possible. But it's hard. I mean, you get excited, and and then they do something good, and you're like, shoot, that thought we had it there for a little bit, So it's just it's an emotional roller coaster.
Given the way the past week has gone with your kind of ridiculous series of comebacks. When you're on deck and Vientos ties it in the ninth, what are you even thinking?
I'm just thinking, hey, let me see if I can just get on here, and let me see, if I can have a good at bat and restart this thing, because just like it happened, that okay, the game's tied, somebody needs to take the lead. You don't have that California rule thing where somebody starts on second base, right? So anyways, I'm just trying to think, okay, game's tied. Let me see if I can get on base and restart some momentum and, get us going and see if we can score another run here. I hit the ball well, just went right at left fielder, and so that's too bad. But
I think it was a home run. Vientos'
yeah, I got a pretty good look at it, and he hit it pretty well. So I thought it definitely had a shot. I would probably have been surprised if it didn't go.
What's the reaction for you guys when you see your closer come in the seventh inning? Just is it kind of like, okay, well, this is an interesting move in the chess match?
I mean, it's all hands on deck, and you're trying to win that game, and you're coming up against heart of a lineup, and Again, like I said, the Phillies have amazing hitters up and down that lineup. So, depending on the situation of the game, it's not too weird in the postseason, given that we have an off day again, tomorrow. It's just all hands on deck. You're trying to piece it together however you possibly can to win the game.
How are you going to spend your off day?
Relaxing. Yeah, probably just trying to. I'll probably go into the field, get a little treatment, and and then maybe do a little workout, and then relax. Try and refresh and recharge. But that's what I'm looking forward to.
Deep down, you think you're coming back for Game 5?
I don't know. We have a chance to finish it in New York. That'd be awesome. But we've played each other so tight the whole game or the whole season that there's no doubt it's a possibility. But yeah, we'd love to finish it in New York. So we'll see what happens.
Bringing all those comebacks by Philly tonight, do you think that's a reflection of the experience they've gained in these kind of games the last couple of years?
Yeah, for sure. They have a ton of playoff experience, and they I'm sure they have that never give up attitude. They made that huge run when they were a wild card team as well, so they know exactly what wild card teams are capable of, and I think they definitely pulled on playoff experience to be able to come back so many times tonight, and they did an amazing job at it.